favorite and the longest shot on the board, beginning with number 4, Jack's World, as I thought he had a bit of trouble going into the first turn last time. He got shuffled back and taken out of position and actually made a good run while in an uncomfortable spot in between horses. I really thought he ran well, and it just on the surface of things, you know, handicapping this race on paper, it appears like he's going to get the right setup, and you cannot ask a horse to look any better than he does. Your favorite looks phenomenal, and it looks like this race is meant to set up for him, as we'll take a look at the horse to his inside. Sitting at 43-1 is number 3, Mission at the Glen. This horse has turf pedigree. This is the first time he'll step on it. We did see him run well when getting on the synthetic surface at Presque Isle Downs for the first time. But the dam, she was 1 for 3 on the turf. A half sibling was 2 for 17 on the turf. And a full sibling was 2 for 8 on the grass. So there is pedigree. This horse has the proverbial turf hoof. He looks like he should appreciate this surface change. It's just the distance that bothers me a little bit. He does look a little bit more sprint inclined, Greg.
Maggie, thank you. Right-hand side of your screen, Grade 3 Monmouth Oaks. The spot where Zany had been cross-entered. Again, she's staying here at Saratoga for the Coaching Club. American Oaks will bring you this race with the top 2 finishers from this year's Black-Eyed Susan as soon as we finish the 7th here at Saratoga. Loading up, mile on the turf for New York Breds with all but the 7 Calvin's Ride, trying to pick up just the 2nd win of their career. You're watching Fox Saratoga Saturday. Let's send it upstairs. Track announcer Frank Miramati with the call.
Last couple to go in. Super Dave. Whitstorm completes the line for the Saratoga stable. They're in the gate. And they're off. And it is a fast beginning for Super Dave. Super Dave is the early leader. Twirling Lad, though, comes through on the inside, wants that lead, and gets it. No shortage of early pace into the first turn. They are followed by Mission at the Glen, and Calvin's Ride is racing in 4th, now 5 or 6 lengths off the lead. Guilty is down on the inside under a tight hold, racing a couple of lengths in front of Stormy Birthday. Sammy C-Note is toward the back of the field in front of Whitstorm. Jack's World in the blue settled comfortably toward the back of the field, and Haute Couture trails 23 seconds flat for the leader, and that leader is Twirling Lad, who takes him to the half-mile pole a half length in front of Super Dave in 2nd. Then comes Calvin's Ride, who's eager on the outside. Mission at the Glen is the gray at the rail. 2 more lengths, Stormy Birthday, followed by Guilty. Then it's Sammy C-Note, and Jack's World is racing outside of him. Jack's World starts to pick it up now through a half in 46 and 4 at the back of the field. Haute Couture and Whitstorm. They're closing in on Twirling Lad. Calvin's Ride with a 3-wide bid as they reach the top of the stretch. And it's a wide open scramble coming your way. Twirling Lad, Calvin's Ride on the outside. Outside of them, Stormy Birthday is running a good race. And Jack's World continues to finish well. Sammy C-Note is next, a 16th of a mile to go. And Jack's World coming at Stormy Birthday. Jack's World on the outside with good momentum. Sammy C-Note late. Jack's World held on by a diminishing nose, and then right after the wire lost the rider. Flavian Pratt fell off right after the wire, where Jack's World held off Sammy C-Note in a very close.
After the wire, we'll get you back there in a moment. Here's the Monmouth Oaks.
Oaks. Good start from My Miss Mo, who takes advantage, goes right to the lead. Bodacious Bay on her tail. She'll run in 2nd early, Jumping the Gun 3rd, then Pashmina, point of reference right behind, and that leaves Ivy Girl at the back getting towards the rail to save some ground on the first turn. Into the turn they go. It's My Miss Mo, the Black-Eyed Susan winner, on top by a length and a quarter. Bodacious Bay facing winners for the first time. She's running tracking right behind 2nd. Jumping the Gun 3rd, point of reference right behind in the 4th position in the Klarovich colors is 3.5 lengths behind. Pashmina to the inside. And Ivy Girl still at the back of the field as they approach the backstretch run and settle into stride. 5 furlongs to go. The field separated by 5 or 6 lengths. It's My Miss Mo carving out the fractions. A half length in front. Bodacious Bay a lot closer now. A half length back running in second. Length and a half to Jumping the Gun in third. Point of reference biding her time in the 4th position. Just 2.5 lengths behind now. Another length to Pashmina and 2 more to Ivy Girl under pressure at the back of the pack as they go towards the far turn. My Miss Mo asked to quick and does so. Bodacious Bay shown more rain to keep pace, and those to open up 3. Jumping the Gun in the 3rd position. Point of reference in the 4th spot under a hard ride. 2 clear of Pashmina and Ivy Girl as they round the turn. My Miss Mo on top. Bodacious Bay on her throat latch, and these 2 are squaring off at the top of the lane. It's a match race coming off the turn in the Oaks. Bodacious Bay on the outside trying to call her My Miss Mo. My Miss Mo short lead. Bodacious Bay on the outside. My Miss Mo furlong to go. Turning away Bodacious Bay at the moment. In 3rd is Jumping the Gun. There's a 16th to go. My Miss Mo keeps going. My Miss Mo and Micah Husbands all the way in the 102nd running of the Monmouth Oaks. Bodacious Bay was 2nd. Jumping the Gun 3rd. Pashmina 4th.
Black-eyed Susan Wither with a victory in the Monmouth Oaks. Her plan at one point was the Coaching Club American Oaks. Opted for the softer spot. We told you right before we went to the Jersey Shore, Flavien Prat dumped from his mount when crossing the wire after winning the 7th with Jack's World. Great to see him walking under his own power, Mig.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in front in the big field and right after the wire. Everybody kind of relaxes for that moment, so I'm glad that he was able to be missed by everybody.
Here's a look. Wow, leaning on that other horse next to him.
Wow.
Just trying desperately, it looked like, to keep his balance.
And you know, look, in the rules of racing, the horse has to carry the rider's weight across the wire. So if that happens 5 seconds earlier, this horse is not going to be your winner. He's going to be taken down.
Nick,
So
they
carry the weight to the wire,
right
but he does indeed keep the weight on to the wire. Ooh, should be fine here.
And this is unbelievable. It's reminiscent of when Irad fell off a White Barrio onto, or to another horse. No, it wasn't White Barrio, but the Woodward last year. He's trying to hang on here because he knows there's horses behind him. This is incredible, and it looked to me like the 4 Jack's World was lugging in, and then his hand slipped on the rein, and that's what made him lose his balance. Wow, he's so lucky to get caught with that hoof.
So you know what? He's going to buy Manny Franco a beer tonight, who rode the 8. Manny saw what was going on. He tried to keep his horse even with the 4 horse and help Flavien out as much as he could to have a nice soft landing on the turf.
Well, you're going to see right after the wire, they do touch, and they kind of takes the horse of his hind end, and they right there, look at that overhead view that is not even real.
Wow.
Wow.
Mick, have you seen a bailout like that before, trying to lean on another horse?
Not to that degree, not going that speed. I mean, we've seen riders come together, push off another horse, land, but he was on the other horse, almost hanging on to Manny Franco's saddle there for a few strides. Look, he's hanging on to his saddle, and then finally he has to let go, but it gave everybody a time behind him to clear out so that there was plenty of space. It's bad enough hitting the ground, but you get hurt when you get run over. That's what you're more concerned with.
Manny Franco outside on the 8 with a huge assist, trying to do what he can to help his fellow rider here. Here's Pratt. Here's the bailout. You see that left leg come out of the stirrup, and this is trouble.
This is a bad feeling because you have too much time to think about it. You see, he's grabbing onto his saddle. He hung onto his saddle for a good 6-7 strides before he said, well, I got to let go at some point. And how good was the runner-up to not, overreact? The 8 horse, Sammy C-Note, some horses might have even tried to kick him at that point because it'd feel like there's something jumping on them.
And then we saw there, too, and you're taught this as a rider to tuck and roll?
You try to ball up as tight as you can, make yourself as small a target as possible. Horses will do everything they can to try to miss you.
One more look. Here's the head-on. And first time seeing this angle. This is remarkable, to jump ship and try and hang on for dear life on the horse next door, Sammy C-Note with Manny Franco.
I'm trying to figure out how he lost his balance. Was it the bump he took from the 8?
I think Paul's 100% correct, the bump.
Let's go to Maggie.
Yeah, well, I have that answer for you. Talked to Flavien after he walked back himself off of the turf course, and he said Jack's World was lugging in so badly that all of his weight was on his other stirrup. So when they kind of bumped and came together, it caused him to overreact and therefore kind of land on Manny's horse, Sammy C-Note. And it was a nice moment. Manny did come over after attacking his guy and said, "Are you okay?" and checked in on Flavien. They did apprehend the horse on the backside. He's been brought back. They've been reunited, and they'll get their picture taken together. True athletes here, these jockeys. Greg?
Incredible news, and you see Pratt hop right back aboard. He's going to go get his picture taken here on your winner for the two-time reigning Eclipse Award winner as outstanding jockey. Mig, mentally, can this shake you a little bit?
No, I tell you what, he seems pretty casual about it coming back to the winner's circle. I mean, he took a tough tumble, but he seems fine physically. And as a rider, you just got to put that behind you. You can't dwell on negatives. You got to go forward positives. And the fact that he was able to remount, get his picture taken, I've never seen anything like this. I've been in racing my entire life. This is the first time I saw that one.
It's crazy, the instincts that you have to kind of mount yourself on the other racehorse while you're going 40 miles an hour. Again, I tell a lot of people, if you want to drive down the road 40 miles an hour, just jump out the window. That's what just happened to Flavien Pratt. He decided to land on another car, which is crazy.
Incredible athleticism as we take another look from overhead. And Mig, wow. Obviously, I mean, this could have been extremely scary, the situation with the rest of the field behind you.
Absolutely. And you can see the riders behind them on this drone shot reacting, going further out or further to the inside to make sure they're giving him a lot of space, because you don't know which way a rider's going to bounce. But if he didn't have the presence of mind and the physical prowess to hang on to that saddle for as long as he did, Manny Franco's saddle, he doesn't give the riders a chance behind him.
The other part about Jack's World, Flavien told Maggie he was lugging in the whole time. When he dropped Flavien, he didn't lug in. He kind of stayed straight, said, I'll guide you a little bit here. He didn't duck in, because if the four would have ducked in immediately, it could have been a lot of trouble.
Assist to Manny Franco and assist to everyone else behind him, too, as you said, Mig, who fanned out wide on either side.
Yeah, you could see his right rein was off of the horse's neck, trying to keep him straight because he was lugging in. So when he got bumped, he wasn't as centered as you would normally be on a horse. Man, he's even lucky right there, the way he hit legs first, that he didn't injure his legs. I mean, you're going fast.
Does he come out of this unscathed? That is amazing.
Some of the toughest athletes in the world are jockeys. And I know it's hard for a lot of people at home to look at riders as premier athletes because they're smaller than average people. But the fact of the matter is they race year-round, 365 days a year. They maintain a very strict regimen to maintain their weight. And they ride from coast to coast constantly. And then they've got to deal with that kind of incident, that kind of danger, different breed.
You hear all the time, hockey players, the toughest athletes in the game, they don't have to deal with this. How tough is that, what we saw from Pratt, to try and extricate yourself from the stirrups and make that leap?
Well, the left stirrup came out automatically, right? But the right stirrup, now you've got to make sure you almost push off a little bit to get your foot out of there. The last thing you want to do is get hung up. It wasn't as dramatic as this, but I was in front on a horse called the Wild Irishman, and he made a left through the hedge, but he left me on the track side, and I was in front in the 12-horse field. And I came back later in the day and won the Saratoga Cup, so he'll shake it off. He'll be okay.
Adrenaline's the best medicine, right?
Absolutely. Tomorrow he'll feel bad.
Presence of mind, though, too. I mean, this is an extremely dangerous maneuver to try and make. As you're feeling this potentially happen, what options are going through your head?
I think this was instinct. You're grabbing for anything to try to save yourself at that point. And also, you're conscious of the fact that I've got a field of horses behind me. And I want to give the riders a chance behind me to react. So that's exactly what happened when he hung onto the saddle, Manny Franco's saddle, as long as he did. He gave the riders behind him a chance to react.
We're not sure. We're hearing potentially Pratt's right foot may have been stuck in that stirrup, and maybe that's why he wasn't able to completely hang on at the end. We'll have to take another look at it later.
But I've seen a lot in racing. I've been in this game my entire life. That's a new one on me.
I think we have the ride of the week.
Yeah.
We're going to stay on for that.
A golden halo, golden goggles.
Wow. See something new every day in this sport. Peril avoided for the two-time reigning Eclipse Award winning rider is champion jockey Flavien Pratt, the win, and then has to jump ship amazingly. Comes away from this unscathed and A-OK with some big mounts still to come. It's Jack's World with the win in the 7th from Saratoga. Jason Worth, World Series champ, former All-Star, taking a huge swing in the Coaching Club American Oaks. With Nikon still ahead. What a dream run he's had to this point already with a Belmont Stakes winner.
The joy of traveling well.